I think a part of this problem also is that Don Lemon is interviewing like a human computer who slowly thinks and processes every question and then delivers almost always like a perfect answer in the Catch Me If You Can game. He's very Elon Musk is obviously one of the...
You're not going to hem him up too easy.
Get out of here.
This is about control. Everybody knows. Everyone complies. We're the kinds of pros. I don't need a plane. I just hit the road. I do what I want. I can't sell my soul. Market about to crash. This is what you chose. Ruining the country. I think that's the goal. You gonna take the mark. I take narrow roads. I'm a man of God. I can never fold.
Here we go. Welcome to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, where we talk whiskey, business, friends, family, and freedom. I'm your host, Matt Marchese, and across the table from me, is my co-host, Zach, the... What do you think I should say?
Yeah, just go.
Zach, the... Zach Grady.
No, yep.
Yeah, what up? Welcome to the show, bro.
You wasted your opportunity.
Listen, I told you, I made a commitment to our followers, our audience, that I was going to do better at the insults.
And you have not followed through.
I like you a lot, man. It's hard to, no homo.
Thank you.
Speaking of homo.
It's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Speaking of That's messed up.
It is messed up, and that's only because you know what today's show is. Today's show, well, by this time, I think everyone knows what the show is because I'm sure there's some sort of fancy thumbnail and title on it.
Yep.
But listen, Don Lemon, I'm sure, would call himself a homo, as would I. So, and whatever.
I mean, he is.
I don't care. Yeah. Is it gay to call Don Lemon gay?
No.
Yeah, because he's gay.
It's politically correct.
Yeah. And I can also say, after watching snippets of this interview, he's stupid. So he's a stupid gay.
Okay.
Not only is
stupid
he...
should be more insulting to him than gay.
You know, it's the weirdest thing, right? Oh, hold on. Before we get started, well, let me finish that thought because I'll never come back to it.
No, you won't. Yep.
It's the weirdest thing that you can be something and be called that something and be offended by being called that something that you are.
Yeah.
How you gonna do that?
Yeah.
Well,
why are you offended?
Why? Yeah. Why are you offended? Stop it. It's derogatory. No, it defines you.
Are you gay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It's easy. It's that simple. Are you gay or not, Don Lemon? Anyway, today we have a very special show for you. I don't know how we're going to do this. We think we're going to probably do it in like 2 parts. So
this might get a little long.
Yeah, welcome to part 1. The show is about an hour and something minutes. What is it, 66 minutes?
The
or
video,
something?
yeah.
Yeah. The Don Lemon show, which is back in action. I'm 125% positive.
Oh.
125.
Is that even possible?
Yeah, just more than positive. I think anything more than 100% is just positive.
It's like a fact.
Yeah. The show isn't going to last because the guy sucks.
Oh, okay.
He sucks as an interviewer. He sucks as a person. He's obviously a liar. He takes a very overly elementary approach to propaganda, which the people can't tolerate. And if you couldn't get ratings on CNN, what on earth makes you think you're going to get ratings anywhere else? There's a reason why you sucked at CNN, and it wasn't because of CNN.
Right. And yeah, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to be Tucker Carlson of the left?
Dude, I don't know. I think, again, without knowing too much, and I could be speaking out of line, I am hungry. So
there's that.
Yeah. Without speaking too far out of line, I think what Elon, I saw a clip of Elon Musk talking to him, or him talking to Musk, or about Musk rather, saying that Musk was begging him to come on the show, or to come on the platform. And I think what Elon Musk is trying to do, and again, this is a master assumption that Elon Musk is not a part of the whole globalist agenda where they're playing, pitting us against each other, the left and the right, the black and the white, the tall and the short, anything that they can divide us on. Assuming that he's not playing into all of that, I think what Musk's position, we'll call it, on this is, hey, if I can get as many people and diversify my platform with opinions, then I could piss everybody off equally. But ultimately, you get to make your own decision.
Right.
You get to you get all the information, and of course, the one side doesn't want any of the other information out because they can't disprove it. Mm-hmm. So it's better just to censor it. And I think what Musk's position, if I had to guess, is probably, hey, Don Lemon, you would be the opposite of Tucker Carlson. Like you're the sucky Tucker, the sucker Tucker, suckier Tuckier. Come on the platform. I'd love to have you. Why? So
people can quit telling me I'm a right-wing radical.
Bingo. So the left woke can't say that you're a right-wing radical. No, well, bring your left-wing bullshit onto my platform, which you're invited to.
Yep.
And you have just as good a shot as anyone else. And of course.
And it turns out yours sucks anyway, so.
Yeah. So anyway, today we are going to react to this video. I hate Don. Before we actually get started, I want everyone to know this is going to be a very biased show for me because I loathe Don Lemon.
Not a fan, huh?
I cannot stand his face.
Was that before this even aired?
No, yeah.
Okay.
I've since day one. I hate him. I loathe him.
Strong words.
I just think he is the one amongst the shittiest of humans you could be. And that has nothing to do with his race or his
sexual preference.
I don't care whose D that guy S's. Doesn't matter to me as long as it isn't mine.
Right.
Okay. I don't give a shit what he does in his personal time or his spare time. In fact, that's pretty much universal across the board. I don't give a shit what you do. But this dude is the most jam his fucking opinion down your throat type of dude, and his opinions are not his opinions. It's an agenda, and I just feel like he is the ultimate agenda pusher of all the agenda
poster boy for agendas.
He's the worst, and he's not charismatic. He's not likable. Like, at least people. Anyway, all right, let's get this thing started. Let's see what this douche can say.
Welcome to the Don Lemon Show, everyone. We're still here. In a minute, I'm going to bring you my conversation.
Okay. Surprise, surprise.
The one that everyone is talking about. But first, let me tell you a bit about the show. Contrary to what you might have heard, we weren't canceled by X. Yes, after months of begging me, wooing me to offer some exclusive content on his platform, Elon Musk decided to scrap the deal. But our plan is, and always has been, to release this show everywhere. On YouTube, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio. Just about any place you stream content. Now for my conversation with Elon. As with all my interviews, no restrictions, no ground rules, nothing off limits or out of bounds. That is until the interview ended.
Before we get started, bitch, you don't have any interviews. You got fired.
Was he saying Musk was begging him to come on X?
So I heard a little bit about I saw an article somewhere or a headline maybe that said, well, I didn't read any articles, but I saw a headline or a synopsis of this, and I don't for context, I don't know what the hell actually went on.
Right.
But something along the lines of Don Lemon, Musk was begging him to come and doing this, and then Don Lemon said something along the lines of, "You have to give me $1 million, a Cybertruck, stock in SpaceX, or what, some astronomical shit." I wonder if it was real or if what I was reading was a joke, or if Musk was really soliciting like an exclusivity deal with Don Lemon because he does want, like we talked about, like he does want that balance. I imagine from a business perspective, that's important.
Yeah.
To have him. So, Don Lemon is obviously positioning this as Elon Musk was, deep throating him because he wanted him. No, he wants the balance to shut your party up. That's what he probably wants. Like, from a business perspective, if you are being attacked for not having balance, it would be very beneficial for you to solicit the balance and if again, assuming that Elon Musk is not a part of this whole division plan, the plan, the polarization plan, it would be beneficial for him to say, hey, come shoot yourself in the foot. The more people looking like fucking idiots on this platform from the woke left, the better it will be for me to say, no, Trick, here's transparency, and people just don't like your shit. And then read your comments because you're an idiot. So I don't know. I guess it's possible. Elon Musk, if he can spend $1 million and make 50, I don't care what your position is.
Yeah.
Bring it on, idiot.
Pretty good return.
Yeah, let's go. So I don't know. Let's see what this clown has to say. He might address it.
So what went wrong? I don't know. But my hope is that you learned something about both Elon and me, two people who come from completely different vantage points on almost every single issue. And I challenge you, Elon, to watch the whole interview and tell the world why this isn't what you claim you want on X.
You're an idiot.
Thank you for inviting us here.
You're welcome.
Your Tesla headquarters. I'm surprised at how big it is. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's about 3 times the size of the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And we built it in 16 months.
Jesus.
It's the fastest construction project in the United States since World War II.
So I'm here, as you know, I'm on the platform because you say you're a free speech absolutist, right? And there are no conditions.
Yeah. Free speech is as much as possible within the bounds of the law.
Yeah. So the reason I'm saying that is because there are no conditions on this interview. You said that, we'll speak to you for an hour. I don't like sound bites, so I welcome that. So let's get into it. So we're here in Austin. South by Southwest is going on. We're at the Tesla headquarters. You are in the process of moving SpaceX here, I understand?
No. SpaceX has a massive
Fantastic opening
facility
question.
in South Texas where we build and launch Starship. And then we have in Bastrop near Austin, we are about to start production at a Starlink, a large Starlink factory for Starlink terminals. But but we're not shutting down any facilities in California.
Listen, we are here as part of a launch of a news interview show that is going to be on X.com. It's coming as a media industry, as you know, is going through a whole lot of changes.
Yeah.
X has also been affected by that. Where do you see X.com's role in the future of news and journalism, Elon?
Well, I think I see the X as it's already the #1 source of news in the world. So it is the #1 way that people actually are informed about any kind of news, meaning real-time events, is on the X platform, formerly Twitter. There's nothing even close for real-time news. So we also want to expand upon that, and we have done so with long-form content. So instead of just doing what used to be called tweets, you can now do long-form posts. You can post an entire essay. In fact, you can now post an entire book to the platform. You can do long-form video content, so you can do up to 4-hour video segments. We really want news in whatever form it is, or information, I should say, in whatever form it is, to be available on our platform, whether it's short, long, text, pictures, video, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that we do, long-form video, interview shows, what have you.
Yeah.
You reached out over the summer and you said, it would be great to have Maddo, Don Lemon, others on the left put on this platform. You'll receive full support. The digital town square is for all. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What did he mean by that?
You idiot!
I hate these little exit and outro little sounds here.
Why you got to make so much noise coming in and out?
What do you mean by that?
This is what I mean. Just we'll get this show on the road here, but this is what I mean. He's an awful interviewer.
Yeah.
He's a terrible interviewer. He's not a journalist. He's not shit. He's got a woke agenda, and I'm certain that this is going to be a terrible interview amongst the worst. That's why his show sucked. And that's why this show still sucks. Anyway, let's go.
Well, I just mean that we want to make sure that there are a wide variety of viewpoints. That it's
Go figure.
we obviously have, for example, Tucker Carlson, who most people will view as being on the right.
There you go.
And
there you have it.
that's quite a prominent name on the right. We want to have prominent names on the left as well to provide different points of view.
And unfortunately,
as well as
Don
centrists,
Lemon
just
and
basically a wide range
Rachel
of
Maddow are the
viewpoints on
best you
platform,
got.
So users can hear different opinions. They can hear, what's your point of view, what's Tucker's point of view, and and people can make their own decision about what they believe.
You
Boom.
didn't mean that I'm on the left? Did you think that?
I thought you were on the left, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm used. Well, let's just say I don't know what the left is or the right is, frankly, these days, because things can be quite polarized. But you seem. My impression was that you're more likely to be
Is
described.
this bitch
going to
say he's not on the left?
What did you
my,
think he
my
was going
sense
to
is you're
think?
sort of center left. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, did you ever watch me on CNN, or did you watch?
I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not. I saw segments.
No, is the
CNN is
answer. I
generally
never
considered
watched
left.
your show.
Why do you say that?
Why do I say CNN is generally considered left? I think if you look at any sort of media survey of what is on the left or right, I think they would say, like, for example, Fox is on the right and CNN is on the left.
Yeah. So that's what.
Am I missing something here?
Are you?
I would have asked him right there. Do you think Fox is on the right?
Yeah, like, what are you trying to do here, Don? Like,
Ugh.
say they're all down the middle?
Dude, this is what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't bring any substance. He just brings a challenge to whatever is said on the, like, there is no truth. You cannot have truth with like, yeah, bitch, what he's saying is CNN is left-wing mainstream media.
All Elon is like, this is common knowledge, Don. Like,
Yeah.
why are you challenging me on
What
this?
is this? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a shitty journalist.
Like, am I missing something here? Like,
Yeah. Zach, would you say, oh, you do have a beard? Why would you say that? Yeah.
okay.
This is it. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of this. 66 minutes of this bullshit, I'm certain.
Missing something? I don't know. I think that when I read that, I said, like many of my critics or detractors, they never really watched me on CNN. They just saw the clips of me either on social media or maybe on Fox News or in conservative media,
Yeah.
where it's sort of where I've become a character or a caricature of what I actually am, and it's taken out of context.
Sure. Well, how would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as someone who is I am independent in my thinking, and I vote for
you're
people
not.
based on the issues and how I feel about
No,
it,
you
not
don't.
necessarily because of political leaning of some sort.
Well, I agree with that approach. I think that's generally how
Yeah.
how people should take things, which is, I mean, there are a whole sort of set of issues which are sort of somewhat arbitrarily bucketed into right or left. But I think most citizens would think that they would agree with some things on the left, but not everything, or they agree on some things on the right, but not everything. That's what I think most people feel, I guess.
How much longer, and maybe the answer is forever, how much longer are we going to have to call it the formerly known as Twitter? I mean, even Prince went back to Prince instead of, is it always going to be X?
It's definitely always going to be X.
So X is going through some changes. As I said, a lot of media companies are going through some changes. You're
Brilliant,
in charge
Don
of an
Lemon.
incredible platform, Elon. How do you feel that's going?
Getting down to the bottom of things.
I think it's going pretty well so far. We're seeing record usage. We've added a tremendous amount of functionality. I mentioned it used to be that you could only do short, text and maybe a picture or something like that, short video. But now you can do long form text, long form video. We've added audio video calling, so you can not just do text DMs, you can do audio video calling. We've improved the algorithm, I think, significantly, and made the system faster and better, and that's reflected in the increased usage.
So let's talk about that, because you said you wanted all points of view, right? It's a digital town square for all.
Yeah.
It's the platform has kind of picked up where some conservative media has left off. That moving to the right, increasingly becoming part of a conservative dialogue, and sometimes even conspiracy theories, right? There was an article.
How can he be questioned when he calls Don Lemon left, and then within 4 minutes
he flips it on him.
he says that Twitter is right? Why didn't Elon Musk say, why did you say that? And Don Lemon's going to say, well, the research is, and he's going to lie.
Recently written about you saying that you, Donald Trump, and X were the most important people or places or whatever icons when it comes to the MAGA movement. Do you agree with that? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, there are nonsense articles written all the time, and I certainly wouldn't agree with that one. I put it in the nonsense category. So,
Put it in the nonsense.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever
fact of the matter,
heard,
in my
Don.
opinion, was that that old Twitter was fundamentally a tool of the far left. And that was really, I think, a lot of it was due to being located in San Francisco, Berkeley. And so it wanted to essentially project the SF Berkeley political dogma worldwide.
You think it was far left?
Yes, I do.
I used to get. I actually got off the platform because I would get so much hate tweets when it was called in. So much hate tweets and just got from right-wing conspiracy theorists being called everything from fag to
Sure. It's
nigger
the
to
internet,
everything.
If people.
No.
I mean, I've been called every name times a thousand.
N-bomb.
Yeah. Do you
On
agree
Twitter.
that it's right now,
Right,
and that
no.
even
No.
it's moved into sort of MAGA
No,
land or
I
conspiracy
don't.
theory?
I certainly don't think it's right. The old school Twitter suspended and suppressed accounts that you'd call on the right 10 times more than they did accounts on the left. And even when they did suspend an account on the left, it was because of arguments between two people on the left. The political donations of old Twitter were 99% Democrat. Does that sound
Wow.
left wing or right wing to you?
The Twitter donations?
Yes. You know when they look at donations from a company? If a company donates literally 99% of all donations are to Democrats, does that strike you as a left-leaning or a right-leaning
Oh, you mean the company donated? I understand what you're
And what I'm
saying.
trying to tell you is that Twitter employees, people at Twitter, their political donations were 99%, literally 99%, to Democrats. That's obviously an extremely left-leaning group.
My question leading into this was about MAGA.
Oh, you bitch! You bitch!
Oh, no. Back to what I was saying.
Bail! Get out of there! No, he just asked you a question. No, Mike. Well, I don't want to talk about the fact that. How about that though? It's pretty cool that Musk has access to like all Twitter documents now. I mean, I think that's actually probably public
Yeah, I think it
information.
is.
But the fact that Musk knows the inner workings of how Twitter was, and he can now, clearly and from an educated standpoint, factual.
Majority of censored
Yeah,
accounts were right,
we're on the right.
and donations from Twitter employees were predominantly
Dude,
left. 99%.
That's 100.
That's basically it. Yeah. Like,
If
I
it's
feel sorry
99,
for that 1% that was working there.
Who
at the
was
time.
that? Who are those 8 people? And what did they donate? But their blood, probably. Those poor people gave their last drop to
I'm
just try and
surprised they lasted. Good for them.
respect to those people though, for being like, listen, I know my vote doesn't count, but
Yeah.
dude, 100%, 99% of donations from Twitter. That means 99% of people in that organization were left. That's insane, bro.
That's incredible.
To have the largest, basically, news information center platform in the world be almost 100%. Dude, that's nuts. And it's no wonder why. How can they? People are like, oh, well, you could, like, they cannot fathom how a lie can be disseminated throughout the entire world so easily, uncontested. And if you want to know why, what he just said is the largest news information source in the world was almost 100% one-sided.
Right.
That's how.
That's how.
There you go.
There it
Matter of
is.
fact, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And you got everything you needed to know. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. Let's get this party started again.
And speaking of MAGA, you recently met with Donald Trump in Florida. What did you guys talk about?
MAGA.
I was at a dinner. I was not done. I was at a breakfast at a friend's place, and Donald Trump came by. That's it.
So you didn't go there to meet him?
No, I went to a friend of mine's house, and it said Donald Trump's coming by for breakfast. Is that just so you know? Like, okay, fine.
What did you discuss?
Let's just say he did most of the talking. The normal things he says. There was nothing particularly groundbreaking or new, but he, you know, President Trump likes to talk, and so he talked. I don't recall him saying anything that he hasn't said publicly, and that was it. It was just a breakfast.
Did he ask you for money?
He didn't.
Did he ask you for a donation?
No,
He didn't.
No.
You said you're not going to donate to any candidate.
that's correct.
Why not?
I think.
Why not? Why not pick a side, Elon? He's telling you why he's not. Come on.
Well, I'll voice my opinion. I think I don't want to put a thumb on the scale monetarily. That is, significant.
Are you going to loan him money to help pay his bills?
No,
Not at all. Pay his legal bills.
I'm not paying his legal bills in any way, shape, or form.
And he did not ask you for money.
And he did not ask me for money.
Are you going to? So you're not going to endorse a candidate?
I may in the final.
Is there something that, like, is there something going on that makes people believe that Donald Trump cannot pay his legal bills?
I think there's been stuff out there about it, but
I mean, is that real?
is there something out that said he was going to ask Elon Musk to help him?
Yeah. And
Where's that
and I
question
mean,
coming from?
surely there's a lot of bullshit out there that says, oh, Donald Trump's going to jail. And I mean, there's a lot of propaganda and there's a lot of truth and there's a lot of there's a lot of bullshit out there. But is there why would he, in a serious interview with quite literally the richest man in the world and quite possibly the most impactful man in our lifetime?
You could say that.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is a master assumption that this isn't all
Right.
we're not all just watching the
stage.
Truman Show. Yeah. But I'm that question strikes me as very odd. I'm going to dive into that right now. Just kidding. Here we go.
Final stretch. Endorse a candidate, but I don't know yet. I want to make a considered decision before the election, and if I do decide to endorse a candidate, then I will explain exactly why.
Are you leaning towards anyone?
No.
You're not leaning towards anyone because you've been.
Let me say I'm leaning away from Biden.
You're leaning.
I've made no secret of that.
I'm leaning
Are
away
you
from
concerned
so
about
is
losing
everyone
a
else.
security
Musk.
clearance that Biden is reelected? Does that have anything to do with it?
No.
You are leaning away from Biden, but you're not going to endorse anyone. It seems like an endorsement of President Trump because there are only two people who are running now. Nikki Haley is out.
I mean, a lot could
Biden's
happen
opponent is out.
between now and the election, so we'll see who, in the final analysis, are the choices for president. And at that point, I may or may not endorse one of the candidates. If I do, I will provide a very detailed explanation of why I am endorsing one.
Sounds like he's
At
saying
that point, might you
Joe Biden's not going to be the
contribute a
candidate,
donate?
though.
Yeah.
I think it's unlikely.
So you have been posting up a storm, as you always do in the past couple weeks, about the redesign of the Tesla
get rid of that
Roadster
noise.
coming at the end of this year.
Oh, the
Are there
Roadster.
any kind of updates that you can talk about to expect from your flagship?
I heard this thing's gonna be
EV and
badass.
Tesla stock is down the last 6 months. What's next for the
Faster
company?
than the Plaid.
Really?
Yeah.
The stocks go up and down, but what really matters is are we making and delivering great products. The Tesla products are outstanding. Last year, the Tesla Model Y was the best-selling car of any kind in the world. So it was about 1.2 million units. It was the best-selling car despite being, I think, around 50% more expensive than the next best-selling vehicle of any kind, not just electric. So I think that's a testament to the incredible work of the Tesla team.
Yeah.
And we launched the Cybertruck. Obviously, that's being very well received. We have, I think, over 1 million orders for the Cybertruck. So it's a really special product. That is, I think the Cybertruck is one of those products that comes along really once in several years, maybe once a decade. A Cybertruck is a once-a-decade product. It is so special, and I think it's our best product. So
But everyone improves over time. I mean, Apple. I thought my phone was here, but Apple. You know, the phone got better over time. I'm sure your cars will get better over time. You have been tweeting about the updates in the Roadsters. There's something that we should expect?
Sure. You did mention the Roadster, so
Why would he say that? Like everything gets better over time.
Was
like,
he at the beginning? I missed it. At the beginning of that, was he saying Tesla stock was down?
He says Tesla stock is down. Musk says, well, stocks go up and down. I'm not worried about the stock price. I'm worried about the product we're delivering and what the success of my business is. But shills and these propagandists focus on the wrong thing. Like stock prices go up and down with news, with economy. But what Elon Musk is saying is we're the best car business in the car business. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not worried about that. Cool, calm, and collected says, yeah, I'm just more worried about like the performance of my company, not the performance of the stock.
Right.
And the performance of my company is great.
Crushing it,
And
you could say.
Don Lemon says, well, Apple, of course your products are going to get better over time. Like Apple's phones get better and things get better. But I'm trying to figure out like how
What is the point of this?
this is what I meant. The guy is a fucking idiot. He's just stupid. He just says shit that doesn't make sense. And then
and he's trying. It feels like he's trying to like okey or
Yeah.
like make him look like a fool or something.
but he can't because he's an idiot. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what was the point of that? And if you listen to Don Lemon and you think he's not a fucking idiot, I challenge you and invite you to come on the show and explain to me what the fuck that meant. Other than just, oh, that was just a dummy saying dummy shit. Anyway, the show, and then again, a hard pivot, which I don't know what he's going to say right now, but he pivoted off of it. Like he said dumb shit as a transition to, I don't know, presumably more dumb shit. Let's see.
Look, I don't want to give away.
He
much more than
pivoted
what I've
to
said, publicly.
the
Except
Roadster.
that the Roadster will be a collaboration between SpaceX and Tesla. So, you can expect some rockety stuff there.
A flying car.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
It's not out of the question.
Go on.
No way.
I
This
gotta
dude's
reserve the cool
insinuating
stuff
he's going
for
to
the,
create a flying car.
That's
when we
badass.
actually unveil it. But it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna have some rocket technology in it. I think really the only way to do something that's cooler than the Cybertruck is to combine SpaceX and Tesla technology to create something that's not even really a car.
Then what would it be?
Something that's never existed before.
I'm getting Jetsons vibes.
Totally Jetsons vibes. And the audience may not be aware, like, some things that I have said publicly is that it'll do 0 to 60 in under 1 second. So that's by far faster than any
Your
sports
heart would
car
be in the back seat.
that exists.
Dude, the Plaid is 1.99. What he's talking about is 0.99. Twice as fast as the Plaid? No way.
That's scary.
Dude, that is serious.
People are gonna do some dumb shit with that.
Well, I don't know. Let's keep listening. Let's see what he says. I mean, for
And,
sure.
and that's not even the most exciting thing about it.
Does it have wings?
No, it does not have big wings.
Don, what are we
Big
doing?
wings would be unwieldy on the road.
Does it have propellers?
It does not have propellers.
Okay. It has wheels.
It does have wheels.
Don Lemon's an idiot.
Roadster 20 questions.
Does it have a steering wheel?
Not exactly.
What is it?
It'll have a drive-by-wire yoke, essentially, like a
Ooh.
kind of like the way aircraft or
Airplane.
modern jets are controlled.
And do you
Yeah.
think it's the way of the future that everyone will follow your
Like a
lead
pull
on
yoke.
this?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will ever
Whoa.
make anything like the Roadster that we're gonna make.
Let's talk now about SpaceX, Tesla. You got a lot of lawsuits. You've got X.com. You got a lot going on. How do you relax?
Well,
I don't.
Yeah.
I
it does
relax.
not.
I spend time with my kids, my friends, and I, make somewhat of a nerd technologist. So I like playing video games. So I'll play video games with friends online.
Which one?
Lately, I've been playing Diablo.
Done.
And,
Getting down to the
but I've
nitty
played
gritty
almost all
here.
the games.
Yeah. I have nothing better to ask.
What video games do you play?
Video games. What's your favorite game?
I have
Games over
Elon
the
Musk.
years.
I create real life games, bro.
A long time ago, I was like semi-pro good at Quake. This is really dating me because we're talking about like 125 years ago.
I don't know video games. I just know that my great nephew loves Fortnite and some other stuff. He's always
Yeah.
with the headphones and doing the thing. So that helps you relax, right? So you,
Yeah, and the nice thing is if you've got friends in different cities and they're playing the same game, you can both go online at the same time and play the game together, even though you're in different cities.
Listen, I'm not asking you anything that anyone else hasn't asked you about your controversial stuff that you tweet. You post a lot of controversial stuff. Is that considered blowing off steam?
Well, I guess I do enjoy using the platform. I mean, I do call the X platform the PvP, or player versus player platform. So in video games, there's player versus like environment, where you're not playing against other people, and then there's PvP, which is like hardcore. You're actually playing against other people, and
But that's blowing off steam for you.
yeah,
Yes.
it is to some degree, not always. I mean, obviously I use
Dude,
it
such an
for
idiot, dude.
He
to
thought he had
post
a
jokes,
gotcha
to
moment
post,
there.
you know, sometimes trivia, sometimes things that are of great importance.
So you do a lot of it at night, like late at night. So when you're doing this, are you sober when you do it?
Almost
Are
always,
you
yes.
under the influence of anything?
Almost
No, I don't-
always.
I don't drink. I don't really. No.
So you got no drink, no smoke, no nothing. I mean, you smoke pot with Rogan,
I had one puff.
Yeah.
I think anyone who smokes pot can tell I don't know how to smoke pot.
but you've admitted that you have a ketamine prescription.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Well, I mean, it's pretty private to ask somebody about a medical prescription, you know. But I think it's something I'd say, like, there are times when I have sort of I don't know, like a negative chemical state in my brain, like depression, I guess, you know, or like depression that's not linked to any negative news, and then ketamine is helpful for getting one out of a negative frame of mind.
Well, listen,
So I in fact, I generally, obviously I'm not a doctor, but I would say if someone has depression issues, they should consider talking to their doctor about ketamine instead of SSRIs.
listen. I think that ketamine and drug therapy is increasingly becoming more in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Do you think you're doing it under a doctor's care, right?
Yeah. Literally.
God,
prescription
dude. Are you serious?
You're not getting ketamine on the black market, are you?
He's the richest person in the whole world. How inappropriate. But,
Yeah,
these are coming from the same people that, demanded that you wear your vaccination status like on a fucking badge on out loud, like in public. Like these are people that, and then the same people that got mad when we say things like, I want to know DeMar Hamlin's vaccination status.
Yeah.
None of your business, but this is your business, but that's your business. It's a very clear double standard. But again, I just want to highlight how bad this dude sucks at interviewing. Like, you have an opportunity to interview this guy who is trying to literally preserve humanity.
What's your favorite video game?
He's literally trying to occupy a different planet.
Does the car have wings?
I think a part of this problem also is that Don Lemon is interviewing like a human computer who slowly thinks and processes every question and then delivers almost always like a perfect answer in the Catch Me If You Can game. He's very Elon Musk is obviously one of the...
You're not going to hem him up too
No,
easy.
get out of here.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch Elon Musk in in a catch me if you can game, dude. Like the guy's one of the sharpest, if not like definitely one of the sharpest human beings on earth.
Because that's where like the video game thing and everything he was trying to lead to. Like, do you tweet to blow off steam? Are you drunk when you do it?
Are you
Like-
drunk? And Elon Musk is like, oh, his response is so classic. Like, almost always sober. Like, what? Almost always, meaning, yeah, sometimes I'm not. And what? Yeah, dehumanizing the person who is a transhumanist is going to be tough.
I'm a real doctor, not like,
Yeah, but do you feel like you ever abuse it?
I don't think so. If you use too much ketamine, you can't really get work done. So I have a lot of work. So I'm typically putting in like, 16-hour days. That's normal.
So ketamine is a psychedelic. And they use this I don't know much about it, but psychedelic therapy. And what he's saying is in place of an SSRI, if you're going through depression or you're having, I guess, I imagine anxiety, that this treatment, which we've talked about on previous shows, I didn't know Elon Musk did this. I didn't know he was a ketamine user. Let's hear.
Normal for me, and it's rare for me to even take off a weekend day. So I don't really have like, a situation where I can be not mentally acute for an extended period of time. Like I can't really get wasted because I can't get my work done.
So how often do you take it?
Well, it'd be like a small amount once every other week.
What is he
or something
trying
like
to
that.
do here?
But there's not on the bottle where it says take this dose this many times a week or whatever. If it's
Yeah,
not
match the dose. And there are several weeks will go by where I don't use it.
you don't use it.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think the what I find ketamine is if you got like literally like a chemical state in your brain that you can't just think yourself out of, then ketamine is helpful for getting you out of a depressive mind state.
I'm interested.
You suffer
Yeah.
from
Give me
depression
some of
or
that.
the depressive mind state. And I asked you as someone who has suffered from depression.
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that I have like a case of like extended depression. It's just once in a while I get into a negative sort of chemical mind state. Once in a while, it's not a common thing, but once in a while it does happen.
Where do you think that comes from?
Oh, you mean
I think
Elon
it's
Musk
just-
is human?
Genetic, basically.
You think it's just genetic history?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, some people are just wired to be happy all the time. Some are unfortunately wired to be sad a lot of the time. And in my case, I'm generally pretty positive and optimistic. But once in a while, I don't know what happens. There's some, like I said, I think it's just chemical tides in your brain. Once in a while, it's like a brain storm.
Yeah.
A
Do
brainstorm.
you ever worry that this may get in the way of your government contracts and clearances, and also
God,
and
what a
Wall Street
dick.
as well?
Well, from a standpoint of Wall Street, what matters is execution. Are you building value for investors? Tesla is worth about as much as the rest of the car industry combined, from nothing. So that's pretty good. As I mentioned, we had the best-selling car on Earth last year.
It's decent.
So from an investor standpoint, if there is something I'm taking, I should keep taking it.
Have you talk about your ketamine use and depression?
That's great.
You also have said, and
The reason I should say the reason I mentioned the ketamine prescription on the X platform was because I thought maybe this is something that could help other people. That's why I mentioned it.
yeah. Can we talk about the great replacement theory now? Some of the things that you post, the great replacement theory. You claim that Democrats, President Biden's immigration
Don
plan,
Lemon,
opened up
the
the border. You
Segway
said that
king.
the president is getting, and Democrats are doing it to get more votes. But undocumented immigrants cannot vote in federal elections. So how is that possible?
Right. Well, you're conflating two things. One is great replacement theory. The other is, which I don't subscribe to that. I'm simply saying that there is an incentive here. If legal immigrants, which I think have a very strong bias to, at least everything I've read, it's a very strong bias to vote Democrat. The more that come into the country, the more they're likely to vote in that direction. But it is, in my view, a simple incentive to increase voters, to Democrat voters. And yeah, so your question is like how? So there's a few ways that this works. One is that when the census is done, the census is based on all people in an area, whether they are citizens or not. So if there are a concentration of people who came here illegally in a particular state or in a particular state, that state will actually then get an increased number of House seats. So the House seat apportionment is proportionate to the number of people, not the number of citizens. So the illegals overwhelmingly go to places like California and New York, and if you just look at the math, if you look at the apportionment with and without illegals, I believe California would lose. I believe the blue state, there would be a net loss of blue states of approximately 20 seats in the House. This also applies to the Electoral College. So you say, like, well, this also applies to electing the president, because the electoral votes are also done by apportionment the same way that House seats are done.
But the
This also, great job to Elon Musk for being able to articulate this, but he's leaving out the quote conspiracy theory in this, and that is the fact that there is a hard push, a many years worth of hard push to eliminate voter ID and to install mass mail-in ballots and to install a system where there is no way to accurately track voter fraud.
Yeah, determine who's a citizen and who isn't.
Exactly. And if you get voters and they're illegal, but there's no way to track legal versus illegal voters, you now have population that can vote. He failed to, maybe he'll get to it. Maybe Musk will get to it. And Don Lemon knows this. That's, again, this is what the propaganda is. Like, you can position something to where what you're saying is true, but if you just conveniently leave out other aspects of what you're talking about, it is no longer true.
Right.
Like, it becomes a lie.
You're trying to lead it in a certain
You're
direction.
fucking lying. You're lying. And this fucker is lying. He's lying to the millions, presumably millions of people who are going to watch this. I also believe that I don't think anyone on this planet anymore believes it. Like, everyone now sees it. Don't you think?
I would hope so.
Like, if you're a far left Democrat or whatever you're going to call yourself, and you see that millions and millions of people, military age men, are crossing the border illegally, and you see what they're trying to push to allow people to vote illegally, and you see the push for mail-in ballots and voter fraud, there's no way you can't draw this line anymore to where Don Lemon says something and you're like, oh, well, duh, that's true. Anyway, let's see. Maybe Musk will get there.
The reason, Elon, the Electoral College is in place is to balance that, is so that doesn't happen. So what you're saying about it is the exact opposite of the reason why the Electoral College is there. The Electoral College at this point, in our history, gives people who are in smaller states and red states much more of an influence over our elections than people who are in blue states, and the majority of the people in this country. That's what the Electoral College does. It actually does the exact opposite of what you're saying. It protects people who are in smaller states and protects people who are in red states.
Well,
The red states, because they tend to be smaller and less populous.
I think that statement is what you said is true, but what I said is also true. Which is that if as is the case, a disproportionate number of legal immigrants go to blue states, they amplify the effect of a blue state vote. And the math, as I understand it, you can research this obviously very easily on there. It's pretty straightforward to research this. But my understanding is that there would be that the Democrats would lose approximately 20 seats in the House if illegals were not counted in the census. And that's also 20 less electoral votes for president. So the illegals absolutely do affect the who controls the House and who controls the presidency. It does not affect the Senate.
Yeah. In blue states.
So, do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah.
The
And
census.
I appreciate that because I'm not sure I understood that before.
yeah.
Actually.
This is. Yeah. Okay. Good.
You're talking about. I
Yes.
don't believe that your
Nice job,
information
Musk.
on that is right. So listen, let's talk more about the Great Replacement because the first time that you posted
did
on
it
X
again.
about this Jewish
Let's
conspiracy.
rewind it.
You ended up
To
and
research this. But my understanding is
He says, "I don't think what you're doing is right," and then he hard pivot, gone. Doesn't defend the fact that it's wrong.
yeah,
Doesn't.
let's have a conversation
Nope.
about that.
No, I think you're wrong. Bye.
that there would be that
listen to
the
this again.
Democrats would lose approximately 20 seats in the House if illegals were not counted in the census.
That's huge.
And that's
bro.
also 20 less
Yeah.
electoral votes for president. So the illegals absolutely do affect the who controls the House and who controls the presidency. It does not affect the Senate.
yeah. In blue states. You're talking about. I
Yes.
don't believe that your information on that is right. So listen, let's talk more about the Great Replacement because the first time that you posted on X about this Jewish conspiracy, you ended up
I
apologizing.
didn't call it a conspiracy. I just said that there's a simple matter of incentives. You don't need a conspiracy when you have basic incentives. In my view, there's a basic incentive that is fundamental that for the Democrat Party to foster and usher in a large number of illegals. Yeah. And you don't need a conspiracy in that case because you have a very basic incentive. You could say I'm wrong about that incentive, but that's my view. I'm not buying into. I didn't buying some great replacement theory. I'm simply saying there appears to be a very clear incentive for Democrats to maximize the number of illegals because it helps them win elections.
I'm talking about the Great Replacement theory is also part of a Jewish conspiracy theory.
You see what they do? He takes a fact. There is a fundamental incentive for Democrats to push illegal immigration. That's it.
Yep.
Like, that's the point. And instead of saying, yeah, that is true, but there's this other part. It's pivot off of that where that's not what I'm talking about. You can't ignore the fact that why do you think there are literally millions of people illegally entering our country with zero actually incentives to come? Like, hey, we're going to house you. We're going to give you money. We're going to give you debit cards. We're going to give you EBT cards. We're going to give you cell phones. We're going to give you transportation. We're going to give you legal counsel. We're going to get incentivizing immigration, not only not arresting people and deporting them, incentivizing them to come. Well, why would that be? Great job, Elon Musk.
Here it is.
Yeah, because there is an incentive for Democrats to have them. What is that? Well, he just explained it. Elections. That's not true. Well, I think you're wrong. Next. What the fuck?
And when you did the tweet or you responded to the tweet about that, you ended up apologizing, and which I think is, it's good that you ended up apologizing. You went to Auschwitz with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
He's rolling his
you
eyes.
said you learned your lesson. What did you learn?
I said I learned my lesson.
You said you learned your lesson when you apologized, and you said you went to Auschwitz. You saw what
No, I was already aware of these things. And the nature of my comment that really inflamed people, what I was trying to say, and I did very quickly clarify, this is what I'm saying, is that
Didn't apologize. I clarified.
a number of prominent Jewish philanthropists fund groups that they should really take a closer look at funding because some of the groups they fund, I think, are anti-Semitic.
Do you understand the connection between the two? There's a connection between, you said Democrats, the Great Replacement theory, but when it comes to the actual Great Replacement theory, originally it was started about Jewish people, as you said, flooding in the country. And
Do you understand what he's saying? He's saying he is making a direct correlation between a, quote, conspiracy theory and the Democrats allowing open borders to control the elections. This is how it's done. This is propaganda. Something that is obviously true. He just discredits it and moves on and immediately ties it to what they call a conspiracy theory to delegitimize a fact. This is why I can't watch. This is why I don't watch these fuckers. This is why. Because my blood pressure is now going through the roof and I got to take a... I don't even have any blood... I haven't had high blood pressure. I need to find some... Maybe that ketamine stuff will...
Oh, yeah.
We're on...
Elon said it works.
We're on X. Maybe Elon will give us an interview.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, we need to
should.
put... Well, now we can post our like long-form show on X.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he'll give us an interview.
Yeah.
He gave this ass clown an interview.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do a better job asking questions in this shithole.
And then now people are using it for Democrats, saying the same thing about Democrats, flooding.
In my view, it's a simple matter of incentives.
Yeah.
I actually don't see an incentive for Jewish people to want to have legal immigration. I don't think there is such an incentive.
Because there isn't.
The Great Replacement Theory is a neo-Nazi
back to the
trope.
conspiracy
It's
theory.
in the neo-Nazi manifesto. It's in the Turner Diaries. It's referenced by the Buffalo mass shooter in his manifesto where 10 people, black people, were murdered in Buffalo. There's the actual title of the Christchurch Shooters Manifesto. 51 people in the Muslim mosque were murdered. 23 people murdered in El Paso by a shooter who used the same language that you use in that manifesto when you say Hispanic invasion. Is that not...
I didn't say an Hispanic invasion.
And you quoted a tweet that called it a Hispanic invasion.
You quoted a tweet.
If I quote something, it doesn't mean I agree with everything in it.
God.
It's just something that I think this is something worth people should consider.
Why would you quote something that you didn't believe?
Because anything I quote is going to have a whole range of statements. Doesn't mean I agree with everything in it.
Do you think if you moderated yourself more, if there was
Censored
better
yourself.
content
That's what moderate
moderation
means.
on the platform, that you wouldn't have to answer these questions
Content
from
moderation.
reporters about the great replacement theory as it relates
I
to
don't have to
Democrats,
answer these
the
questions.
great replacement theory as
Oh,
it
it's the
relates
best.
to Jewish people? Do you think that...
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think... do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm
or that
criticized
there was...
constantly. I could care less.
Oh, it's so money.
No, I don't.
Why
care.
not?
I don't think people should care what the media thinks about them. They're terrible judges of character.
Oh.
Even someone who has one of the biggest social media and biggest information platforms in the world, you don't care? You don't think that you have any X.com or you have any responsibility to the truth or moderating the platform?
You're conflating the truth with the media, and I think the media is not truthful.
Well, not but just the,
Oh,
just the truth
burned.
in general.
Very much.
Damn.
That's why we have, for example, community notes on the X system, where in order for a community note to service
so
and
good.
Provide corrective information about what somebody posts, and my posts are equally subject to this. I've been community noted many times. In order for a community note to surface, people who have historically disagreed must agree in order for a community note to surface. And all of the code for community notes is open source. All of the data is open source, so you can completely recreate it from scratch. The way to build trust is transparency.
I have noticed community notes. I think that you are right about that, and I do think community notes are helpful. I think any type of content moderation, I do think that's helpful. You recently called content moderation, though, a digital chastity belt. Do you think that you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform?
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and we have a responsibility to be transparent about when things are shown, why they're shown. That's why we open source our algorithm. I think once you start going beyond the law, now you're putting your thumb on the scale. And we don't want to put our thumb on the scale.
It doesn't concern you that hate speech has gone. Research shows that it's gone up on the platform since you took over. That's not concerning to you?
I believe that is false. In fact, the research that I've seen says it went down.
The study from the Institute of Strategic Dialogue found that anti-Semitic tweets doubled from June 22 to February 2023. One study reported that as many as 86% of the posts reported for hateful content remained up after being reported. Hate speech on the platform is up.
So what they will typically do is they will count the number of posts, but not count the number of views. So what matters is, was that post given high visibility, or what did like one person see it? And if you look at the number of views of how many times was hate content viewed on our platform, it is down substantially.
Yeah. Well, that's not was what the study shows. And you said you like transparency. I'm going to show you this. And
Don, you can get a study that will tell you whatever you want.
But the studies,
That you can get a study. God, dude, this.
But also, he disagreed with what Don was saying and then rebutted the comment with his own. And then Don was like, well, no, that's not true.
Dude, that's what they do. and this is how this works, okay? You can get a study. You literally pay for a study, and you get to control the outcomes of the study. Nope, I do not want that variable considered because that will yield me a different outcome. This explained very well by Musk, of course, that says, hey, that's not true. What they're doing is counting the post, okay? Not the amount of time, not the impact.
Not the visibility.
Right, not the impact. In fact, that's the opposite. So it's viewed less times. So therefore, the impact to the public is less. I can provide you a study that shows as I spin it, and then they tell a lie, and then they point to the study that they paid for to certify their own lie.
So it should be even more telling though if Don is saying the posts are up, but the views are down. That's
right.
That's even
It's
greater
even
news.
But they will show clips of this. The mainstream, the far left media, the woke. They will look at it and say, "No, Elon Musk is a liar." The studies show because they're parrots. And all they do is quack, 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 repeat what they're told, probably want a cracker, over and over and over again. On, as we showed at the beginning of this, on a platform that at one point was 99% controlled by one side, the left, and is creating studies, air quotes here, studies, and then lying and pointing to their own studies to prove that their own lies are not lies, and controlling 99% of the media or the platform.
There it is.
I don't understand how people don't understand that. And I think it really is the root of that. And I hope Musk elaborates on it. What he just said. You can get a study to show you anything. Anything.
Right.
And if you don't understand that principle, like that studies are controlled by the person who pays for the study. Like, these are not like independent studies that people
Right.
are just like, I'm going to do a study on this. No, somebody pays a company, a research company, to do a study. Okay? If a vaccine company wants a study done, okay, to certify their product. No. If a medical company, say Pfizer, wants to sell a product, they're going to pay to have studies done that are beneficial to the sales of their product. In fact, they're going to pay to suppress studies that are detrimental to their product.
Interesting.
It's money driven. It's not fact driven. It's propaganda. It's spin. And you could put spin on anything. And to the people on the left that say, oh, the right puts spin on things, you understand the concept.
Yeah. So everybody's doing it.
It's the same concept. The studies show this guy's annoying, more annoying by the minute.
These are just a handful of extremely, you look at those anti-Semitic and racist tropes and tweets, and as of this morning, they're still on X. And from your own content policy, these posts should have been deleted. So why haven't they been deleted? Why are they still there? Did you?
We delete things if they are illegal.
But these have been up there for a while.
Are they illegal?
They're not illegal, but
Are they illegal, Don?
Are they illegal?
No.
Well, they're not illegal, but listen, I think
they make me sad.
Dude, I called it at the very beginning of this. This guy is amongst the worst. There's a reason why he is not on the TV anymore. And it's because he sucks. And he sucks because he's a crappy interviewer and he isn't smart at all. And he's a liar. And it's obvious. So no one's going to believe this shit. His ratings are going to be awful unless he can bring like big time guests that people are going to go to the show to watch Don Lemon get his ass ripped up. Not literally. I'm sure that's illegal. Maybe not. I don't know. Twitter's got some weird shit on it, but anyway, I think we cliffhang this. Let's catch this on the next rendition of this episode. We'll call it part 2, if you will. I think we stop here where Elon Musk is saying, "Is it illegal?"
Yeah.
And Don Lemon is going, "Well, no, but we want you to censor people.
It hurt my feelings.
We want you to do what I believe. We don't want to hear anyone else's opinions. And if it hurts my feelings because I'm gay and black, then you should have to do it, even though you have a constitutionally protected right." Is it illegal? That's what he means. Meaning, does it violate our law? That's what illegal means. Mm-hmm. And the law would be our rights of free speech. Does it violate free speech laws? No? Well, then I'm not removing it because then I'm doing what they did before I owned it. Right. Censor people. That's what Don Lemon wants. That's what they all want. They want to control all of the information and all of the words. And if you want further explanation on controlling all the words, you can go back and listen to 90 episodes where we talk about their desire to
Not quite 90. We're almost there.
Whatever. Anyway. All right. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your love and support. As always, please find your purpose, serve your purpose, and protect your purpose, people. Peace. And wait. Come back and check out part 2 of this Don Lemon, Elon Musk saga.
Riveting.
Riveting.